court-appointed legal guardian defrauds her older clients and traps them under her care. But her latest mark comes with some unexpected baggage. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back into another video, and today is another Fanatic film review, and I'm very excited once again to talk about the film we're talking about today. And we're talking about a brand new film that came out on Netflix just this past weekend, and that is I Care a Lot. This film is one I've heard a lot about. It's kind of divisive, not completely divisive, but overall the consensus is that it's actually a pretty good film. I'm very excited to talk about it. And I think without further ado, let's just kind of hop right into it. The first thing I really like about this film is two performances in particular. You've got Rosamund Pike, who is the standout of this film. She is fantastic. She is evil. She is scheming, conniving, just so good. You are drawn to her presence because she seems like a very likable character, but you know that she's up to no good. And that kind of left me captivated because not only is she up to no good and not only is she very captivated and seems like a nice one, but she's smart. There is a scene in this film where she goes back and forth with a lawyer in her office. It's maybe a 5-10 minute scene. One of the best scenes of the film, watching her go back and forth with this lawyer and outwit him and outsmart him throughout the entire thing. It's absolutely brilliant. But the other really awesome performance in here is from Peter Dinklage. Now, he doesn't have as big of a role. He's in specific moments of the film, but when he's in it, he is a standout. He is scary. He is evil. You know that he is not a great guy. But the very interesting part about this, and the interesting part about the writing in this film is that you're actually rooting for him throughout the film. Rosamund Pike is not a good person. Her character is not a good person. She's doing a terrible thing, defrauding old people and just cheating her way to money and success and power. And so you are actually kind of rooting for Peter Dinklage's character for a majority of this film. And that was a loop and a turn that I didn't really expect, but actually kind of enjoyed and liked. And there are some twists and turns throughout. There are some things I don't completely love about this film, but we'll get into those a little bit later. The next thing is the very interesting story. I mean, it's like I said, the whole background about what Rosamund Pike's character is doing and just bringing in these wealthy old people and just the whole scheme and all of the fraud that's done throughout is actually very well done. The way the storytelling is done, it's very Adam McKay-esque, which I really like. Adam McKay is one of my favorite directors / screenwriters working in Hollywood right now. And you really feel that kind of style in this film. And for that, I really, really enjoyed it. And again, like I said, the film is very interesting. It's not something that you'd think would be very interesting. The subject matter actually seems kind of boring at times, but the way it's told and those really awesome performances make you interested. And I was thoroughly interested throughout with this. It's also serious but funny. It's a very dark comedy. It's what it is, and I really liked that theme. Again, it's very Adam McKay-esque. It's a dark comedy. Now, again, terrible things are happening. The things that Rosamund Pike's character are doing are terrible. The things that Peter Dinklage's character does are not very savory at all either. But there are moments that are funny. There are moments that make you laugh out loud throughout the very evil things that are being done, and all of that has to do with the screenwriting. I think the script is actually really, really solid, kind of airtight for most of the movie, but again, I'll get into my negatives in a little bit. But a lot of the dialogue hits. A lot of the dialogue is very smart, quirky, and witty. And I liked that because Rosamund Pike's character, she's so confident that she is cocky. She is sarcastic. And she can't be beat. And she knows that. And I love that about her performance, her character, and the way that she's written. It is absolutely fantastic. The direction and editing is also fantastic. I've talked about this a little bit. The style of this film is very Adam McKay-esque. I know I'm going to keep saying that throughout, but that's what I instantly just, my mind goes to, is the style of Adam McKay. Very quickly edited, a lot of visual representations of things to help, tell the character what's going on. And that, along with these great performances, make this a film that I was thoroughly invested the entire time. It's a bit of a longer one. It's almost about 2 hours long, but you didn't feel that. The pacing in this film is very solid. It flies by. And the direction and editing are big reasons why that is the case. And the ending. I'm not going to get into the ending. I don't want to spoil it. But let's just say it threw me for a loop. Really enjoyed the direction it took. And I'm not going to talk about the very end. I'm not, because I don't want to get certain people mad. I'm just not going to talk about it. But you can see the expression on my face. You may know how I feel about the very end of this film. But that's the good. We're going to get into the bad. And the main thing that I am not the biggest fan of in this film is a majority of the third act. The first 2 acts of this film are fantastic. Really. The setup, the exposition, then a lot of the rising action and conflict of this film is fantastic. But then we hit the real climax of the film. Then we have a certain event happen to our main character, Rosamund Pike. The tone completely shifts, and then it is just a completely different film with a completely different storyline. And I did not like the turn that it took. I did not. I was not a fan of it, because we should not like Rosamund Pike's character. She is an evil woman doing evil things. And the thing I liked so much about the first 2 acts was that she was, finally seeing the light and seeing, that her actions have consequences. And look, I love Rosamund Pike. I think her performance is fantastic, but that's how she's written. You're not supposed to like her character. Her character is a schemy, not good person. So then this film turns into something completely different. I do like the humanizing aspects of this. I do. You see her character become more human, because in the beginning she's so cocky, she feels invincible, she feels like she cannot be beat. You do get to see her beaten down and scared and just, not ready. I like that. I do. I like that aspect of it. But things happen. Third act. It takes certain twists and turns that I was not a fan of. With that being said, though, the final 15 minutes of the movie, when another twist happens, if you watch the movie, you know what I'm talking about, then I was right back and invested and ready to see what was going to happen. And then the film ended. So there is a shift that the film takes, and it's very hard to explain because I do not want to spoil it. I'm going to say that right now. It's very hard to explain because I do not want to spoil it. But there is a shift that this film takes. There is a shift that the script and the story takes that I was not a fan of. I just wasn't. I wasn't. I did not want to sympathize with this lady that's doing very evil things to elderly people, taking advantage of them, stealing their money, locking them up, and basically keeping them prisoner in these old folks' homes. That's terrible. It's terrible. You don't want to like this character. I did not want to empathize with her. I didn't. And I did, at times, and that was okay. But it took a direction I was not expecting, and it did not work with me. Now, I'm going to give this film a very positive score, so before you go into the comments and say, my God, how can you hate this film? I don't. I'm going to give it a positive score, because overall, it's a really good film. It's just the direction it takes at the end, I'm not the biggest fan of. That's all I'm going to say. But I think with that said, let's hop into the point breakdown. Like I said, it's a pretty good film. So I don't want people to come in and kill me for this, because I tended to actually enjoy it. I gave entertainment 21 out of 25. Like I said, for a majority of it, I was very entertained. Performances, 18 out of 20. I'm going to give direction 8 out of 10. Writing, 8 out of 10. Emotion, 7 out of 10. Cinematography, 8 out of 10. Pacing, 4 out of 5. Rewatchability, 5 out of 5. And an automatic 5 out of 5. If you did the math, I gave I Care a Lot an 84 out of 100. So I'm telling you, I enjoyed the film pretty much the entire time. The performances are fantastic. I like the direction. I like a majority of the writing. There's just a twist it takes that I was not a fan of. But that's okay. Because overall, I really enjoyed the film, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 rewatchability. I would watch it again. Just for Rosamund Pike's performance alone, I would watch it again. But guys, that is pretty much it. Let me know down below in the comments, what did you think of I Care a Lot? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know why. It's on Netflix. Anyone can go see it, so go check it out. But guys, that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for checking out the video. Go to my website, FinaticFilmReview.com, for all of your movie reviews and reactions and written articles. Go over my Twitter and to my Letterboxd to get immediate film reactions from films that come out in 2021. I've had my I Care a Lot review out on Letterboxd and Twitter since I saw it a few days ago. So instead of waiting for the review, go check out my Twitter and Letterboxd. You can get my immediate reaction right after I watch the film. But guys, that is pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. We'll see you in the next video.